Welcome to the Lancaster City Council meeting. City Clerk.
City Council Member, Agency Director, Housing Authority members, Hughes Leslie. Present. Molly.
Present.
Mann.
Present.
Vice Mayor, Vice Chairman Christ.
Present.
Mayor, Chairman Paris.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. The invocation is with Mike Hanna from Living Word Worship Center.
Heavenly Father, we are gathered before your throne of grace today, seeking your divine wisdom, your guidance, your blessings, as we commence this city council meeting this afternoon. God, we thank you for the privilege of serving our community. As your word instructs us in 1 Timothy chapter 2, verses 1 through 3, your word says, I urge you that first of all, to pray for all people. Ask God to help them, intercede on their behalf, and give thanks for them. Pray this way for kings and for all who are in authority, so that they may lead and live a quiet and peaceable life by godliness and dignity, for this is good and acceptable in the sight of God our Savior. Father, we pray first and foremost for all people, which includes everyone, regardless of their social status, their beliefs, or their actions. This includes kings, those in authority, as well as ordinary people just like you and I. And particularly for the leaders of this council, the mayor of this city and their staff and their families. Father, we ask that you grant them the wisdom, the discernment, the courage, and the strength to choose what is right and just, and to lead with integrity and justice through their daily tasks, so that they may govern this city with compassion, dedication, and a heart for the well-being of all citizens. Father, we pray for the unity and cooperation among all citizens, that we all may work together to build a harmonious and prosperous community for all that dwell here. Finally, Father, we ask that you bless this city, that it be a place of peace, love, and safety, to protect us from harm and guide us toward a future filled with hope. We offer all of these prayers unto you in the mighty name of Jesus, our Lord and Savior. Amen. And let everybody say, amen. Amen.
Thank you.
God bless you, sir.
Please place your hand over your heart. Ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Antelope Valley Walls presentation.
Good evening, Mayor Paris, Vice Mayor Christ, and members of the council. It is my honor today to present to you Antelope Valley Walls. Antelope Valley Walls, previously known as Powwow, is the 5th installment this year. It happens every 2 years, where artists from across the world and local artists come and create beautiful murals throughout Lancaster. This year's installment was on September 8th through the 16th, and we had 13 murals throughout the Antelope Valley, here 5 in Lancaster. Part of the Antelope Valley Walls program is that we build partnerships. We build partnerships with local municipalities, with local businesses, and nonprofit organizations. Some of the nonprofit organizations that we're proud to partner with is LMPAF, the Lancaster Museum of Public Art Foundation, ThinkSpace, Worldwide Walls, Pear Blossom Arts, and the California Arts Council. And one of the most impactful partnerships that we had was with the LA County Public Library, which is the mural that you see before you today. These partnerships involve multiple stakeholders, local artists, county, city staff, and they consulted on the artwork and created this beautiful piece of art that adorns the area where the bookmobile is located for the library. Now I will share with you some of the murals that we have here in Lancaster and some action shots and then the final product. So this one is actually at the AM/PM, which is at the beginning of the boulevard right there off of 10th Street. The artist is Ken Fluellen. So it's a beautiful mural. You can see he worked in the evening to help project some of his artwork to be able to start painting this. This one is at Tierra Bonita. It's right around the roundabout by the splash pad. This artist is on Animalito land. Her actual name is Graciela Del Salves, and she created this very large, beautiful mural that's very colorful and very playful, very appropriate for Tierra Bonita. The next one, as I mentioned earlier, the LA County Public Library mural, and that's B.L. Singleton, who is a local artist here to the Antelope Valley. Next, we have Owen Memorial Park. It's a basketball court mural that depicts a variety of sports that we have at Owen Park, and his artist name is Goopmasta. And lastly, we have the Lancaster Community Center mural, which Mr. Toledo is the artist, and this one depicts a variety of activities that are held at the Lancaster Museum, at the Lancaster Community Center, which it has arcades, it has podcast opportunities for local community members. We are hosting our senior bingo now, which is a new program. And there is, I will say, a little Easter egg for those of you that are familiar with little Easter eggs on this mural. And the Lancaster Community Center was open in 2022. And if you notice in one of the hands, they're holding a 22. So that's a little nod to when we opened the Lancaster Community Center mural. Some of our partners, as you see here, the City of Palmdale, Pear Blossom Arts, the Lancaster Museum of Public Art Foundation, the Boulevard Association, Destination Lancaster, just to name a few, and Lucky Luke Brewery. All of them, we couldn't have made it possible without the tremendous partnerships that helped put this event together. And now I would like to show a little short video, if I can.
Did you really just show us a Palmdale mural?
I showed you murals that were created for the Antelope Valley, specifically highlighting the ones here in Lancaster.
I don't think there's an E at the end of Lancaster. I think that's a wonderful program. Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you. Any questions?
Even if they are doing it in Palmdale too.
It was a great partnership. We were helping support the local Antelope Valley and create that sense of community that these murals not only help combat graffiti that happens at local walls and helps beautify the city. People really identify with Lancaster, and so it's really, we're the trendsetters in this area, and we're really making this happen.
I think you're doing a great job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sarah Perry. Hi.
Hello. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Mayor Paris, Vice Mayor Christ, and members of the council. My name is Sarah Perry. I'm the Chief Executive Officer for Valley Oasis. If you're unfamiliar with Valley Oasis is a community-based organization that's been providing services in the Antelope Valley for over 40 years. We started off in 1981 as the domestic violence shelter, and since then have expanded our services to include sexual assault and an array of homeless services. So I'm here today to share with you some of the work that's been happening in your community. If we could go to the next one. Oh, do I have it? Sorry. I wanted to bring some highlights in some of the work that's happening in the community. So Valley Oasis is sectioned into three main focuses for issues. The first being domestic violence. So our domestic violence shelter here in the Antelope Valley has served 231 adults and 181 children in the first 9 months of 2024. In addition to that, we have provided 22 participants with transitional housing services, and our CalWorks program, which is responsible for domestic violence education, has taken in 309 new participants since the beginning of 2024. They've also provided childcare to 50 children and legal services such as restraining orders and divorce, child law for 138 participants. Our sexual assault services, we are responsible for providing advocacy at the Antelope Valley Hospital for anybody who's sexually assaulted and wants to have an advocate. We have served 138 victims in the last 9 months. In addition to that, our homeless service programs have successfully exited 290 adults. That would be any household that doesn't include a minor or dependent. Our transition-aged youth program has successfully exited 70, and the family services have successfully exited 289 families. That would be anywhere that's stable when they're leaving our services. So it could be their own unit or possibly with a family member if it's a long-term situation. Since January 1st, 2024, our Family Solutions Center, which is our intake for families, has received 2,975 requests from families that are seeking different services. We have what's known as a problem-solving team. They are responsible for diverting and quickly resolving a housing crisis without needing a program enrollment. And they have been able to successfully resolve 32% of the calls that come in without needing to enroll in programs, which is much more expensive than trying to negotiate or quickly resolve a crisis without a program enrollment. So the reason I'm sharing this today is I know a lot of the time it can feel like there's not a lot of progress or it's not happening as quickly as we'd like it to, but I do want you to know that there is work happening, and there is, we have a lot of staff that are going to work every day to try to make sure that Lancaster is a better place to live. Another piece of the work that has been happening is encampment resolution. The Pathway to Home project has been working to identify encampments in the Antelope Valley that they would like to resolve, move people out of and into interim housing, and then eventually into permanent housing. So the initial initiative took place already in Palmdale over the summer. They were able to relocate 121 individuals into interim housing, and they were able to remove 32 cars and recreational vehicles from the desert. So the next step is Lancaster. I know that they're working right now to identify a date and move forward with the project, and we're hoping that that takes place in November. I wanted to also take a moment to share about some of the programs that are lesser known at Valley Oasis, and one of them is our employment program. It's only funded to serve a certain sect of our homeless service contracts, so it's pretty small, but they are doing some work to try to help our homeless and formerly homeless individuals to be able to sustain themselves once they're in housing. In the first 9 months of the year, our CES employment program was able to successfully connect 30 participants to employment, and the average starting wage was $22.52 an hour. which was above what the funders asked us to do. They were able to get participants hired in places like Trader Joe's, the Antelope Valley Hospital, and different securities companies. And they enrolled a total of 129 participants year to date and provided over 2,500 services. That would be things like helping them to build a resume or job coaching or readiness workshops, things of that nature. Another one that we don't talk about as much is our site-based crisis housing. So we have a small family shelter that shares space on our domestic violence campus. It houses 13 families at a time, and it's a 90-day program. So far, year to date, they have serviced 55 families, which consisted of 58 adults and 88 children. And in the last 9 months, 26 of those participant families moved into permanent housing when they left the shelter. One of the things that I think is really special about this is it's not really what you think of when you think of shelter. It's more like a shared home where the participants are sharing. They have a private sleeping space for their family, but they share a common kitchen and living room, bathrooms. So it's much more like a home environment. So that's the gist of what I wanted to get across to you today. I don't know if you have any questions for me, but I just want you to know that we're working hard to try to resolve some of the issues out here. What can you do? You know, the thing that tends to be our biggest struggle is affordable housing. So any opportunities, that the city can have to bring in either assisted housing through vouchers or tax credit, some type of affordable housing tends to be the biggest factor in moving people through the system. We have a bottleneck. We have a huge front end with a lot of people needing the service and then a really slow back end to get people into units. So if there's opportunities for that, I love to have some more permanent housing that can assist families, especially large families. We have a struggle with large families that can't fit into the unit sizes that we can offer even in the interim housing options.
Do we have a count as to how many people in Lancaster actually need housing? Who will take housing? Who will take care of the housing?
Yeah. I don't have that number offhand, but I can look into it. We tend, because our funding is SPA-based and not city-based, it's hard for us to kind of tease out specific city numbers, but it is something that I can provide to you, I'm sure. I just need to look into it.
Thank you.
Don't you have a banquet coming up?
A banquet. We have yes. And thank you to the city for supporting us in that. This Friday, we are going to be holding our annual Courage Conference. It is an opportunity for survivors of domestic violence to share their story and how they moved through their abuse. We have some seats set aside for the city, so if you would like to attend, our registration did close for the community, but we do have some seats available if you'd like to attend.
The sexual assault program at the hospital, any issues?
Yes. So the sexual assault program, unfortunately, has experienced a decline in the amount of people who are reporting their sexual abuse because the hours have been reduced, that the unit is offering the forensic exam. So they're closed in the evening, in the late evening until the morning. They're open for about...
Is that where most of this occurs?
Yeah, we would assume so, yes. They are reporting funding issues in order, they're not able to keep it open based on funding is what they're saying. So it makes it difficult. Our survivors end up having to either wait for the forensic unit to open in the morning, or they are asked to go to Northridge, to the center down in Northridge to do their exam.
What, I'm sorry?
To go down to Northridge to receive their forensic exam there, and if they don't want to wait until the morning.
I thought we contacted the county about getting them funding for this.
We did. We did. I was supposed to receive a call, which I haven't have yet to receive in regards to being able to fund the other 12 hours
What's
of
the
the forensic
cost?
unit. I was told that the full cost to run the forensics unit for 1 year is $2 million.
Here, do you need a pen to write a check?
Yeah, it's
I
expensive.
have to ask my wife.
You know, I've thought in the past it's possibly something that could be handled by maybe a community-based urgent care or something like that. We really just need somebody that can do the kit. Because the urgent care takes in the participants 24 hours a day. It's the actual collection piece that's missing for that evening part, which has made it difficult. I believe, my personal opinion is that people probably, it's a deterrent for them to report if they have to wait or if they have to, their choice is to go outside the area to do it.
Well, it's one way to reduce the number of sexual assaults is just not report them, right?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Yeah.
What do you suggest? I mean, this doesn't work.
I mean, my suggestion, honestly, if we can't make it work where we've had it before, would be to look into potentially a smaller community health provider that could do that piece, that could even potentially co-locate with the services, the advocacy services. There's other areas that have made that work where they actually have the doctor in the building where they're providing the advocacy. So it's kind of a one-stop shop for people, and they're not having to go multiple places to receive services after they've been assaulted.
Larissa, put together something. Let's reach out to the HMOs and the urgent care, see if we can drive the costs down, but provide the service, okay?
We'll connect.
All right, and what, you report back in 30 days?
Sure,
I mean,
absolutely.
I don't want
That'd be
to lose
wonderful.
this. I think that's outrageous. Okay,
I agree.
all right, let's fix it. We'll fix it.
Thank you.
Somehow we'll fix it.
Thank you.
Although it strikes me as odd, it's just not part of the service at the emergency room.
I agree, yes.
Maybe we should have a meeting with the stakeholders over there. Yeah? Bring in law enforcement, bring in the fire department. Let's fix this, all right? Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll fix it.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for your time.
I knew you were going to depress me. Marissa. Now, this is an upbeat story, right?
Yes, it's much more cheerful. Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Council, today Public Works is going to retire the Tidy a Mile Community Cleanup Program. We're going to recognize one of our most active participants, and then we're going to kick off and launch our new Team Up Lancaster program. Here to tell you all about it is our Assistant Director of Public Works, Mike Harn.
So bear with me, there's a little height difference here. I think that's it, that's all I got.
I'd bring it up if I were you too.
All right, Mr. Mayor, Vice Mayor, council members, thank you for having me today. My name is Mike Harn. I'm with the Maintenance Services Division in the Public Works team. I'm here today to recognize a local business for their contributions in the Tidy a Mile program and announce a new program coming to the city of Lancaster. So we'll start with a little background on the Tidy a Mile program. The Tidy a Mile program kicked off about 2.5 years ago. The program gives residents, businesses, and community groups the opportunity to keep Lancaster clean by adopting segments of roadway throughout the city. In this program, the adopter and the city partners to clean up for cleanup events. The city provides the safety gear, bags, supplies, and then we'll pick up the collected trash after the event. The city also provides signs along the adopted routes, highlighting the adopter of the roadway. In return, the adopter's responsibility is quarterly cleanup events for a span of 2 years. So today, we recognize Bravery Brewing for completing their 2 years worth of cleanup events in the Tidy Mile program. The Bravery Brewing is a local veteran-owned business located at 42705 8th Street West. Bravery was established in 2012 as a brewery and a tasting room, and in 2021 they opened up a pizza kitchen at the same location. Bravery has been recognized by the community with multiple AV's Best awards and one of the most awarded breweries in Los Angeles County. Bravery is also very involved in giving back to the community. They regularly host charity events and run a program called Pizza with a Purpose, where a portion of the revenue generated from pizza is given back to local community groups and programs. Also, after the loss of their business partner and Marine Corps legend Arlie Ermy, Bravery led the charge to rename Avenue Inn in his honor. Even with doing all that, Bravery still has made time to help keep this community clean by adopting 8th Street West. So today we want to recognize them for that contribution to the community. We would also like Bravery to help us kick off the new program that will replace the Tidy Mile program. Tidy Mile program has been a fantastic program, but we have created a new and improved program based on feedback from the community. Over the 2.5 years, we have received many calls and requests for volunteers to get involved. Some of them were unable to commit to the 2-year time period. So in an effort to let everyone who wants to contribute be able to get involved, we have developed a new program that will allow community engagement without the long-term commitment. And that's called Team Up Lancaster. So today we're unveiling the Team Up Lancaster program. This program still allows residents, businesses, and community groups to adopt a roadway, but also allows folks to volunteer for one-time events as well. So some of the main differences are there will be one-time cleanup events coordinated by the city, 3 annual city-sponsored cleanup events, graffiti removal and illegal dumping cleanup events, 2 community-driven anti-graffiti murals, similar to the one that was completed on Earth Day, and opportunities for local schools to partner for student-led cleanup events. So today, as we recognize Bravery Brewing, we'll also be kicking off this new program, and we'd like to have Bravery be our first participant in the new program. So we'd like to bring them up and give them a certificate and then have them roll out the new program. So Mr. Mayor, Council, anybody that wants to come down?
We should probably bring them up here so we can get...
Bring them up there? Okay.
In the community as you, this would be utopia. Thank you.
them up with beer first.
What you say?
Fill them up with beer first.
Yes. Oh, those were the days. We're good? Okay. Anything on the consent calendar for the Housing Authority to be removed?
There are none. None.
Any speaker cards?
None.
Is it-
For the consent calendar, there were
Yes, for the
oh,
consent.
Housing Authority, sorry.
For the housing consent calendar.
Will you shut her mic off?
She's trouble.
You're confusing me again.
Sorry.
Okay, is there a motion?
I'll move that we adopt Resolution HA 3-24 and authorize the executive director or his designee to execute all documents.
Is there a second?
I'll second that motion.
Let's vote. Passes unanimously. Moving on to the council consent calendar. Any items to be removed?
We need to pull CC 10 and CC 7.
Is there a motion? Oh, any speaker cards
Yeah, right here.
for those two?
Yes.
Or for the consent calendar? Okay.
You want to do the rest of the consent calendar?
Yeah, let's do the rest first.
I'll move the consent calendar pulling CC 7 and CC 10.
Is there a second?
second that.
Let's vote. It's unanimous. Okay. CC 7, Mr. Flores. Should we get a staff report first?
We can hear what he has to say.
Good afternoon, Mayor Paris and council members. My name is Edu Flores. I'm a student at Antelope Valley College. Can you hear me very well? Can you hear me very well?
I can hear you now.
Okay.
I just
Sorry
have
for
to
that.
turn my hearing aids up.
Okay. Regarding the CC7, I got some questions about the water transfer agreement of the City of Lancaster and the 50 District Agricultural Association. Basically, my aunt, which is a homeowner here in Lancaster, I live with her, and when I read about this agreement, it got to my mind. How will this affect the homeowners regarding the water bill for the houses, for the properties?
This particular agreement doesn't impact any of the homeowners, so when a development comes through the development process, they actually acquire water rights and get what's called a water will serve letter from the different water districts in the area before they're able to build those houses. So those houses are guaranteed water rights. This is a separate agreement, which is transferring groundwater rights from the fairground for a 5-year period to the city of Lancaster so that we could use it some of our facilities, like our soccer center, where we're already pumping water there and using it to water the soccer fields over there.
That was my question regarding the agreement. Thank you so much for your time.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Motion to approve CC 7.
Second.
Let's vote. It's unanimous. CC 10, Fran, come on down.
Good afternoon, Mayor Rex Paris and Vice Mayor Marvin Chris, and all of you members in the council, and ladies and gentlemen, and all the staff that's here and the public. My name is Commissioner Fran Sarasaris, and well, let me see. This is, CC has, you're getting an award for public works construction for landscaping and restoration programs. My question is, this money that's being used for landscaping and irrigation system on Sierra Highway and the bike path, oh my goodness, I can't even talk. The bike path between Avenue J to Avenue M. Couldn't some of that money be spent or to help out? I mentioned this morning at the AVTA meeting about the Lancaster Metrolink station. We're suffering over there when it comes to when it's cold in the mornings and in the afternoon. In the winter, we freeze, and I'm talking from experience. And I've seen all these people, and I'm talking to all these people. We have nowhere to go to keep, at least the heaters right now are not working, but AVTA said they're going to fix that. But that's not sufficient enough. We need a place where we have a room or a wall around us or some kind of shelter to protect us from the weathers. We don't have that. Then where we get on the ramp for the handicap, there's nothing to cover us there at all. Nothing whatsoever. And the reason I go up there, I could wait with everybody else, but if I wait and I go to the disability ramp, I might lose my space in the train because they only have so many spaces for wheelchairs. So I have to be up there kind of like, it's like anything else. If you're not first in line, you don't get in. But my main concern is, I've been going through this for many, many years. I brought it up before, and nothing has really been done. I don't know where I should go or who should I talk to. I understand that this is part of the Lancaster responsibility, but I don't know, where the line draws. So I'm just bringing it up again, so hopefully this will, do a little shaking or something. I'm very concerned about I see all these old people that are there, and I think I already talked too much, and I appreciate you listening to me, and God bless you all, and God bless America.
Thank you, Fran. Just so you know, there's $35 million that's going to be spent redoing the entire Metrolink station, the Lancaster station. They're waiting for the rest of the funding to come through, so they're not rebuilding it 3-4 times prior to the total remodel.
So, okay, so 35,000, you said, or 30?
Million.
35 million, but you don't know when it's going to happen.
Oh, it'll happen within the next year.
Oh, good, it'll be in my lifetime then.
Hopefully. Hopefully.
Well, friend, neither one of us are buying green bananas.
Well, thank you. I wish that, somebody would have said something before, or even I talked to the owner of that little stand, that little market, that little shop in there, and he doesn't ever know what's going on. But, so this would have saved me a lot of headaches had I known this earlier. I know you can't come and, hey, friend, we're going to be doing this, and we're going to be doing that, and you should know about it. I mean,
It just recently happened. Lauren sits on the Metrolink board. She was able to get $35 million to redo the entire.
Oh, thank you very much, Lauren. Thank you.
Why not 36?
It's a long time. It's a long time coming, and I appreciate it, and they'll appreciate it too. And I'll be passing the word along. Thank you.
Thank you, Fran.
Thank you.
Motion to approve CC 10.
Is there a second?
Second that.
Let's vote. Passes unanimously. Okay, we'll open the public hearing on item 1, the Mitigation Fee Act. So,
No speaker
Allison,
cards.
did you see how well I did that?
You did so
Without
well.
any prompting, I just
No
opened.
prompting, no one had to poke you or anything.
I'm really proud of myself.
We'll
You
see if
should
he
be.
closes
We'll
it.
see if you close it.
No speaker cards. So you want to waive the staff report?
Yes.
Okay, let's close the public hearing.
Look at you
Public
go.
hearing is now closed. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve PH1?
Second?
I'll second that.
Let's vote. Passes unanimously. So do I have to open the public hearing on NB1?
No.
NB1 is a new business item. It does not have a public hearing.
Ah, okay, good. So let's hear the staff report.
Good afternoon, Mayor Paris and council members. Before you for consideration this afternoon is an ordinance to add Chapter 8.34 to the Lancaster Municipal Code regarding the sale of energy drinks to individuals under the age of 18. You should see in front of you that you have received 2 letters submitted requesting the continuance of this item today and the engagement with stakeholders. Those copies of those letters are also available for the public in the back of the room. The ordinance presented to you today is modeled after statewide statutes proposed for enactment in the states of Connecticut, Massachusetts, and Illinois. And the ordinance would prohibit the sale of energy drinks to minors and within 1,000 feet of schools on school days. I'm happy to answer any questions, but it is a fairly straightforward ordinance.
Explain the school part of it.
The idea of the school part of it came from you, and was set up to
And if I needed you to explain it to me instead of the people here, I wouldn't have asked.
Okay.
All right?
My apologies.
Explain to us the reason for the 1,000 feet and the opening and closing of the schools.
It's so as not to incentivize, advertise, and push these types of drinks onto minors who may not have an understanding of the health impacts of these very powerful drinks on their bodies.
So, I mean, I get the 18 part. I wasn't aware that we were doing it when the school was open or closed. I mean, how does a store owner know to do that?
Well, certainly you can direct that we modify the ordinance in that manner. We can limit it to simply under the age of 18, which is a much more straightforward issue and analysis for the store owners to consider.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure.
Any questions? Okay. Juan, I can't read your last name, I'm sorry. Come on down, okay?
Thank you. Juan Camacho.
Hi, Juan.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Mayor Paris and council members. As you said, my name is Juan Camacho, and I am here today on behalf of the American Beverage Association, which represents the non-alcoholic beverage industry, including America's mainstream energy drink companies. One of our highest priorities is to ensure the safety of our products, and our member companies are responsible leaders when it comes to energy drinks. The American beverage companies have committed to a number of things, including going beyond government labeling regulations and voluntarily listing the amount of caffeine in each drink because consumers deserve to know. We include advisory statements on every bottle and can we sell, pointing out that energy drinks are not recommended for children, pregnant or nursing women, or people who are sensitive to caffeine. We provide clear and direct answers to frequently asked questions about energy drinks on our websites, and we direct people to them on our packages. As we know, parents should know what's best for their families, which is why our companies have all agreed not to market drinks to our children. All ABA member companies have signed on to the ABA guidance for the responsible labeling and marketing of energy drinks. Our companies have all agreed not to sell energy drinks in K through 12 schools. We won't even market energy drinks in schools. We do not provide energy drink samples to children, and we do not offer coupons to children. Given that the ABA companies represent 95% of the energy drinks sold in the U.S., most of the energy drinks you see on the store shelves abide by our commitment to responsible marketing and transparency. As you guys move forward with this process, we look forward to engaging with you on this issue to work collaboratively and ensure the health and well-being of Lancaster residents while preserving consumer rights and supporting local businesses. Just looking forward to working with you.
Well, I'm curious, in light of all of that, why would anybody object to us having an ordinance that you can't sell to anyone under 18?
I think, I think oftentimes what we try to get away from, especially because we find ourselves in situations where California's such a big state, there's a lot of cities, and we oftentimes would prefer it if the state does a blanket type of policy on some of these issues, because then we're having to go around city by city, trying to figure out how to best meet what the city's asking of us. But if you do it here in Lancaster, but it isn't done in Palmdale and it isn't done in the other local cities, it just makes business a lot harder. It makes doing business a lot harder for our companies across the state and across the country. So I think what we ask for typically is uniformity, and we try to do that based via the state.
We start the trend, right? The problem I have with it is, even you agree, people under 18 should not be drinking these. The reality is nobody should be drinking them, but if you're over 18, you get to make all kinds of choices that may or may not be good for you. But under 18, it is our obligation to protect them. And just because nobody else is doing it doesn't mean we shouldn't do it, especially in light of the fact that the industry acknowledges children should not be drinking this stuff.
Right, and we see it as a choice. I guess for us, is we see it as a choice where the parents get to be a part of that conversation, right? Let the parents make that determination for their family, and that's why we're saying we completely understand. We don't market and/or sell in schools. It's part of the commitment that the companies have made. There's less caffeine in a bottle, for example, of Red Bull than there is in in caffeine in like a Starbucks drink.
Well, that's because Starbucks spikes their coffee with caffeine. They spray caffeine on the coffee beans. That's why there's such a high content of caffeine in Starbucks. I just have trouble with this. And also, it's not just the caffeine, it's the caffeine in conjunction with the taurine and what that does to people's hearts, especially children. We know it causes cardiomyopathy in a certain segment of the child population. And the industry knows that. Okay, it's going to be a pain in the butt. You're going to have to live with it, I think.
Well,
now, the school issue, I can see if we just make it 18, why do we have to worry about it, right? So you might win that part of it. How's that?
Well, I'll tell you, I think we look forward to the discussion. I think that we're willing, I know that you guys are, intent on moving this forward, but I think I'm here just as an introduction, and, I'd love to have ongoing conversations with you as this goes through the process, because I think, as I said, we'd love to show you and explain to you how responsible the companies are and how we, how the companies do business, and that we don't target children as part of the process on this.
I would agree that Red Bull is probably a little more responsible than others, but Monster used to advertise to children, it takes 3 to get a buzz. Seriously. It seems like it's about time we step in.
Well, like I said, I'd love to have those conversations with you. As this process moves on, I think what you'll see is that our companies, 95, as I said, 95% of which are part of the energy market, a lot of them are, they are now abiding by specific guidelines that are voluntary guidelines that I think will surprise you, and you'll see that we're doing business in a responsible way.
Well, I appreciate the fact that you at least acknowledge the problem. That is a responsible way of doing business. I appreciate that. I also appreciate the fact that we do have obligations to especially the children of this community. Okay?
We look forward to the conversation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Flores?
Good afternoon. Hello again. I had some questions before, but now I got a new one thanks to the lady out here. I just want to know, because maybe I got confused regarding the schools. Like when the schools are open, the store should not be selling those energy drinks. I just want to clarify that part.
I don't have a problem taking the school element out, just going with no 18, have to be 18 or over.
I think we should pass it as it is right now and talk about it. If we want to amend it, we can amend it at the next.
You can amend it, you can certainly take parts out of it when you adopt it. Alternatively, you could move today's item as presented with the omission of 8.34.050, which is the provision regarding schools. That would take the schools out of it.
I don't have a preference, whatever you want to do.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm unclear on your question.
Well, because I understood that when the schools are open, the stores or any business that is selling energy drinks should be like limited specifically in the times that schools are open. I'm aligned with this ordinance. It's not like I'm against it. I just want to like understand better how is it going to work for the stores when the students are outside, basically, because it's not like students are not going to go to the stores to buy energy drinks when the schools are not open. I just want to clarify that.
I'm not sure how to answer that.
So the way 8.34.050 is written is that it's unlawful to sell the energy drinks within 1,000 feet of a school on days that the school is open. So that would be a school day, not the hours the school is open. So it would be prohibiting, your concern was, well, if they're in school, why does it matter if you can sell energy drinks? Shouldn't they be in school? And that is a question. But before school, after school, they would be prohibited still from selling the drinks if the council were to enact 8.34.050, which is currently a subject of some debate.
So we could pass it tonight.
Correct.
And then amend it in the following meeting?
You could, or you could move, yeah, we can do it either way.
We can introduce it tonight.
You can introduce it today.
And remove 8.34050.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. Did you have anything else?
Just for a last thing, I just want to know, like, if it's going to work like that. I can imagine that energy drinks are going to work as the same as alcohol, like they're going to ask for an ID for that.
Are they going to ask for an ID when they sell their energy drinks?
Are they gonna what?
Ask for ID.
They better, otherwise they're going to get fined. Do we have a sanction involved with this?
We do, yes. So this is set up as a misdemeanor, and aiding and abetting is also a misdemeanor. They're declared a public nuisance, and we can pursue injunctions, et cetera, against violating locations.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
I got it.
You got it?
I'll move we introduce ordinance 1121, adding chapter 8.34, but removing 8.34050.
Is there a second?
Second that.
Let's vote. And it passes unanimously. Thank you. NB2. Sydney Seta? How do I pronounce your last name?
We cut our hair.
How do I pronounce
Good afternoon, Mayor Paris and Vice Mayor Chris and Council. I'm Josh Thomas. I'm in the Economic Development Department in the City Manager's Office. Just recently moved upstairs. I bring before you a master project on the City Manager's master list for the City Manager's Office, the Lancaster Eats program. is a program to help stimulate some local businesses here in the Antelope Valley with forgivable loans up to $25,000 to purchase equipment, anything from hoods, freezers, fridges, if they need a new HVAC to sort of get the business going. What they would have to do to qualify is to have a 2-year lease and remain in the building for up to 2 years to have the loan forgiven, which the structure that we will provide is a 50% forgivable rate. After each year, it'll forgive for 50% until the 2-year window is closed. If they do vacate the premises before 2 years, then the loan would be repayable to the city in our operation covenant that they would agree and sign for the city of Lancaster. What we do believe this program would definitely help stimulate local businesses and get some new, some sit-down restaurants. That is the requirement. It must be a brand new sit-down restaurant here in the Antelope Valley. We're not going to do fast food, no fast casual. We definitely want to get some more sit-down restaurants so you can go out there and enjoy it with your family. The program boundaries are limited to the incorporated Lancaster area, so everything within the Lancaster boundaries, so excluding like sort of the Cortil area, but everything within our little boundaries of Lancaster. So that's just a quick overview of the program. I'm here if you have any questions.
I thought we were doing this as a stimulus for the east side. Did I miss something?
So
I can answer that, Josh. Yeah. There will be incentives based on location or scoring based on location, yes.
And is 25,000 really adequate?
Based on the research we've done, that's kind of the needed amount that really tips these people over and allows them to start a restaurant and get going.
Okay, thank you.
And this would be for a new or expanding restaurants.
Okay.
So if there's no other questions, I'm here for you. If not, thank you for your time.
Thank you. Any speaker cards?
None. Motion to approve NB2, 1 and 2.
Is there a second?
I'll second that motion.
Let's vote. And it's unanimous. So I have a nomination of a new planning commission member. Should we move that over to next week?
We're pushing that until November meeting.
Good, thank you. Council reports. Councilmember Hughes Leslie.
So the first thing that I have to brief the team is I had the pleasure of speaking at the Mom's House annual fashion fundraiser. And if you're not familiar with the organization, they engage our senior community. So that involves bringing resources to them, giving them opportunities to be active and get together. And this particular event was their fundraiser, and there was a bit of fashion. And the topic I had the opportunity to speak on was what is going to connect the generations? If there's a generational gap, which many argue there is, what's going to connect us? And my thought on that was service, whether it be service to your family, service to your school, church, community, local representation, like Bravery Brewery, connecting and servicing all kinds of people, veterans, our local communities. So it was a really great event. Thank you to those who participated and made the event possible. And I think we have a video. Today we're here at Mom's House, and it's an incredible organization that was founded on love. Miss Donna Hill, our founder, she took care of her mother in her last years of life. And Donna and her mother have such a wonderful life together. They have wonderful memories. But it inspired Donna to think about, what about the others who don't have family or friends or community to take care of them, to be connected to? So that's what inspired Mom's House. And I have the privilege of talking about what connects generations. We will always find common ground through service. And now service comes in many shapes and forms, as you know. We can serve our family, whether that's taking care of an aging parent or just raising our children to be kind human beings. I think it's incredibly important.
We all need to work together to ensure that our seniors, our older adults, 60 years and older, are valued members of our community, and that we need them and they have purpose. We needed to remind the younger generation of the purpose of the older generation, and we need to remind the older generation that we need the younger generation, so we all need each other.
Thank you.
And then I have one more announcement or report. Big kudos to our parks team and everyone that volunteered at the Halloween haunt. We weren't quite sure what to expect because of the location change, but it was fabulous. It was such a great event. I really actually liked the venue change. There was a lot more space. So great job to our team. Thank you to everyone from the community who came out and joined us, and our volunteers who handed out candy, scared the kids, and just provided overall free, safe fun. And we definitely have a video for that.
Lancaster, what is up? It is October 19th, so we're no other place than Halloween Haunt. We're out here on the soccer fields, Field 30 to be specific, celebrating all the festivities that you possibly can in the city of Lancaster. Right now we have City Councilwoman Lauren Hughes-Leslie, who also, her son, won the costume contest, so she's a proud mom. Lauren, how does it feel to make sure that the city can come together in a safe space to celebrate Halloween?
Oh, it feels so good. Like you said, I too have little kiddos, so the fact that we're here as a family enjoying this, knowing that there's so many activities to do in a safe, fun environment, I mean, it just fills my heart.
We want our families to be able to come here and feel safe. So if you noticed, we had some all-new, state-of-the-art detectors. We had plenty of sheriff here, so that you can come, you can just have a good time with your family.
It's always amazing to see our community gather together and enjoy time with their family and friends and celebrate.
What were some hardships that you overcame through the transition from the hangar here to the soccer fields?
First of all, I do have an amazing team that makes this happen. They are the backbone of the department and event, so shout out to them. But really, the biggest thing to overcome is a new venue space because it's like starting from scratch. We have to figure out the logistics. So even though we know what we want the event to be, it takes a lot of time and effort to really dial it in and make sure that, everyone loves it and they have a great time when they're here and everything works seamlessly.
Thank you. Raj Mali.
Yes, I have two of those. So Lauren and I got to attend Senior Expo, and it was amazing. It's done by High Desert Hospital, and they do such a good job for our senior volunteers. And even a few years ago, even Fran won Senior of the Volunteer. So this year was amazing. We had such a good time over there meeting with all the volunteers. And some of the senior volunteer I was talking to, they've been volunteer for 20 years, over 20 years, or even more. And it's such amazing inspiration for all of us that, we, after retirement, that's what they do. They have free time to help others. So I just want to thanks to High Desert Hospital for doing that every year. And the second, I have every year, not every year, but a lot of people ask me what's going on around my neighborhood by my restaurant, all the construction going around on the 14 freeway. So just wanted to give a little update on this. It's a ramp, on and off ramps they're getting built. So it will be done by 2025, March 2025. So I wanted to just answer everybody. So that's it.
Thank you. Vice Mayor Chris.
I'll start with the AVA QMD. We were able to finally give the mayor the AIR Award, which is the individual that has done the most for the air quality in the last few years. And the mayor has done that with not only the solar and made us #1 in solar, but has done the hydrogen and has done the electric buses. So we have a video for that. It was nice having the supervisor there.
Mayor Paris, I have one more thing. I forgot to actually show a video. There's a video on Senior Expo. So can we just show that? I'm sorry.
You had a senior moment.
This event is extremely important for the fact that we're honoring our seniors and our veterans because they are the foundation of our community. They set the example for us. This event is always such an incredible time of community and information sharing, but taking care of and maintaining your health. And that includes physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual health.
The great thing is, the stereotype is that our senior people are low on energy. Well, all you need to do is come out here and see that energy. That's a myth, that many of the seniors have plenty of energy, and we need to glean from their energy and their example.
Some of the seniors I met here today, they've been volunteer for the last 30 years, 40 years. And this is such a good example for us. So to appreciate that is very important. So that's what we're doing today.
As you enter, you start going to all the stands, and they greet you and they give you information, which is almost awesome for a lot of us. You can get your blue shot, and right now my wife is having the both density measure. We already did our blood sugar and blood pressure, which is good.
Thank you.
Can I finish?
Yes, you can finish now. He was excited.
Yes, I know. It's just like, hey, I got to go to the seniors. We did do the Fallen Heroes Sunday. About 200 bikers, the sheriff department, the fire department, the Forest Service, the guards out at the prison, and the CHP all got together, and there was what, Ken, a couple hundred bikers.
Oh, all of that. And the weather was great.
Weather was good, so we do that every year. It's usually the second or third week of October. And then Monday we went to NCTC, and we talked about, the biggest thing that we talked about was not only your money for Fran's remodeling of but we talked about the scoping issue. I've sat on that board for 14 years, and Caltrans has constantly put up roadblock after roadblock after roadblock after roadblock. So we had a scoping meeting set, and they canceled it. We put out, what was it, Charlize, 40,000 cards?
40,000 cards, yeah, and I think it was to the tune of like $100,000 to get all the advertisement out on it.
So there's choke points in the AV freeway that stop people from, you go from 3 lanes to 2 lanes, and we were establishing it is very unsafe, and we've established it time and time again. They've put up 11 new roadblocks, and one of those roadblocks are to do nothing. Another one is to take out some lanes. So not for it to go 3 lanes to 2 lanes, but just stay at 2 lanes. These are the same people that said they could fix it by putting in, I know you're gonna laugh, but please don't, crosswalks.
Yeah, I thought we actually had crosswalks taken out over a year ago, and lo and behold, we got a new list, and crosswalks, I don't know how that helps traffic on 14, but in their wisdom, believe it or not, they think that striping, making wider stripes, and putting several $1 million committed to crosswalks, I don't know how that helps traffic.
So it's important for every person here to send a letter to the scoping committee to show the people. It is, I believe it's November 14th. We don't have a location yet, but we'll keep everyone up to date. But to tell them that we need to fix the 14 freeway, it's unsafe. We have almost 100,000 people leave the valley every morning. We have about 25,000 people coming in from Santa Clarita. A freeway was not built for that volume of people. So we can represent you down there, but you talk about bureaucrats. Caltrans and Metro are absolutely the worst. And the last one is AVTA, but I think the mayor's going to introduce the video.
I can think of a lot worse.
I can't.
So we had the 10th anniversary of the electric buses at AVTA, meaning the entire fleet was carbon-free. The most significant thing about this is we're making money off it. That was due to the genius of Marvin Christ. The buses cost a lot more, but we're the only profitable public transportation agency in America. That is quite a remarkable feat. And that really was because of the way he reinvented the business model. Just the fact that it was carbon-free. So let's see the video recap. Thank you. Lancaster Financing Authority.
Wait, let me do one last thing. I talked to Art from the Boulevard Association about a lot of the windows that are getting broke by people from, so can we have some type of program that we can help those businesses fix those windows because they're breaking them and they're breaking them and they're breaking them and they can't afford to keep fixing them. If we can't stop the people from doing it, we need to be responsible for helping them.
We can look into a program for that. Another thing to note, we are putting 2 full-time armed security officers out there by the 30th of November to help with it as well.
That would be good. We need something.
No, I wanted snipers, but they wouldn't give me the snipers. City attorney got in the way. What can
She
say?
frowned on it.
I got in the way again.
Okay, Financing Authority, no action. Power Authority, no action. Successor Agency, no action. The City Manager.
Yes, thank you. I have a few updates today. The first is that scoping meeting that the Vice Mayor mentioned for the State Route 14. It is November 14th. It's in the council chambers at 6 p.m. So get out here, get your comments in, let your voice get heard. And talking to our executive director for the North County Transportation Coalition, the more comments we can have about the safety and traffic we're having on the freeway, the more likelihood we'll get funding from the state to repair that and make it better. So get in here and let your voice be heard. Second thing, I have a short video on the Peace March. The police department did a Peace March with some of the local churches, I think on Saturday, October 12th, and we have a video which shows that.
I come out of a multi-generational gang and drug family out of Venice, California. Most of my young adult life and my teenage life, I had zero direction. I found myself involved in that. And ultimately, I found myself in a penitentiary 29 years ago. And I didn't know if they was gonna ever let me out. But I did tell myself during that time that I was there, Lompoc Federal Penitentiary, I told myself that if they do, I'm never gonna hurt my mother again the way I hurted her growing up. My mother was my anchor, and as a result of me keeping my word to her and to myself and to God, the organization came to birth.
One of the first things I found out when I got here to Lancaster is the incredible amount of faith organizations and faith houses that we have here. We have to draw on that. I've always said that there is no more influential organization within a community than its houses of faith. We need to connect with those leaders. We need to connect with their parishioners. We need to get everybody behind this and get as many people working towards the safety of our community as is humanly possible.
One thing I love about things like this is unity. What it did was it brought a lot of different traditions and cultures together. You know, you've seen people who may worship in different type of ways and different styles, but coming together and being able to be that person that brings forth that atmosphere, serving God, worshiping God, and just having a good time, you know?
So thank you to our police department for doing that. Hats off to you guys. Next, we have Fields of Draft coming up. That's Saturday, November 2nd. Are we sold out yet, Sonia, or are there still tickets available?
A few available. Get them now before we are sold out. Almost there.
If you don't have your tickets yet, get them sooner than later because we will be sold out. It sells out every year. Our community center, I believe, is doing a winter coat drive. So coats are due in by November 11th, and then those will get distributed to the Lancaster School District for those in need of a coat. So if you have those going through your closets for the fall, please donate those coats. And then also our community center is doing a trunk or treat event on October 31st. It's a free event. It's safe. It's going to be fun. So bring your families out and go ahead and enjoy some candy from the community center. And then last thing that I have, we are doing a special event this Saturday, the 26th, over at the Desert Woodlands Preserve. It's an event that commemorates the Joshua Tree and takes you through a bunch of interactive activities to show you what the Joshua Tree is and how it came about, all of that good stuff. So it'll be a really good event. So get over to the Prime Desert Woodland this Saturday. Actually, the last thing I had is, and we haven't done it yet because she hasn't been here since we've had a council meeting since her appointment, but we did a external recruitment for a community development director last month. And after interviewing several people from the outside, a few people from the inside, we selected Patty Garibay as our community development director. She's a very familiar face. She's been with us, she told me, it'll be 20 years this November, so she's been around. Most recently, she led our building and safety and our planning teams. I know she's done a lot of stuff with energy, so I'm looking forward to seeing her do some great things with the new team and keep that team moving forward. So thank you, Patty.
Thank you. City Clerk?
This is a time to address the City Council Agency Authority on non-agendized matters. Speaker cards can be found on the back table of the council chambers. Individual speakers are limited to 3 minutes each unless a different time limit is announced. State law prohibits the City Council from taking action on items not on the agenda, and your matter may be referred to the City Manager. Thank you.
Thank you. Richard Thomas? Richard Thomas? Fran? You're up again.
Yes.
Once again, hello. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to see everyone here. I want to thank you all for what you do. This community would not be what it is without all of you. Plus, I wanted to bring up, since the one that's coming up on November the 14th, is that going to be put in the Valley Press also? Besides putting it on your Lancaster website, because there are a lot of people that don't read that or see it. And a lot of stuff doesn't get put into the newspaper. So, and I know the newspaper is little by little dwindling, But we should put it in the newspaper, put it in the Valley Press, put it on your website, but also send out flyers. We have a lot of seniors that want to know what's going on, and they can't afford a newspaper, and they don't have computers. So maybe if we can get out, I mean, if I could, if I would. I mean, I would if I could, but I can't. Send out flyers to all these apartment buildings. We have a lot of seniors that want to do something, but they don't know what's going on. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Fran. Willie Green. Mr. Green, how are you?
I'm good.
Good.
Hi, Fran. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Mayor Parrish, Vice Mayor Chris, council members. I was here over a year ago. I presented some problems. Those problems still exist. I want to thank you all for the tremendous job that you're doing for the residents of Lancaster. I apologize for having to restate problems from over a year ago. I live down the street at Civil Winds Apartments on Fern. A couple of years ago, the city painted in red, put up signs, no parking, so that we can enter and exit our drive-through gates safely. At the time, Mayor Parrish suggested that I be allowed to take photos. But the city attorney said we can't do that.
What?
Yes. We were told I could not take pictures of the problem. The problem is vehicles parked at the gates where visibility for oncoming traffic doesn't exist. You have to get out into the street to see oncoming traffic.
Okay. Chris, would you fix that, please?
Absolutely. I'll meet with you right after this, sir.
Okay.
And you can take a picture of anything you want.
In fact, we
You
encourage.
can tell them the mayor said so.
We encourage.
Okay.
So we know what's
But
going on.
it creates a situation, and I'm trying to be proactive instead of reactive. I hate to see my friends get out into the street to observe oncoming traffic, get their car damaged, or even worse. And then afterwards, we say, well, we should have done something. I believe in see something, say something. I've been trying to say it, but who do I say it to?
You picked the right spot. We're going to fix it.
I've called the sheriff's station. I called public safety. I called parking authority. You don't get any response. None. No one has even come out to see what the problem is.
Okay, Mr. Green, they're going to do it now. I'm sorry that you had to go through all that to be heard, but you've been heard now, and we will fix it, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Green. I appreciate your diligence in putting up with us, I guess.
Well, no, you guys are doing a great job. It's the ones that are collecting checks and not doing theirs that's the problem.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
David Paul, is David still here? No. Okay, then, thank you. That concludes the speaker cards. Any comments from the city council?
No.
I do have one.
Okay.
As a community that loves our children, we love our veterans, we just love everyone. It saddens my heart to share that we recently had a naval pilot from this Antelope Valley who passed away. She was a student at Paraclete High School. She's one of us. She's from our valley. So just hold and kiss your loved ones extra tonight, and just let's honor the service that she gave to this country, the fact that she was one of us, that she came from this great valley. And her name is Lindsay Evans. So thank you to the Evans family for raising a remarkable young lady, and I'm proud to know that you are part of this valley.
Thank you. The next meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, November 12, 2024 at 5 p.m. The meeting is adjourned. Now, that means we're moving it to 5 p.m. just because we are, and then we'll move back. All right? Thank you. I'm sorry, what, Brent?
2 times a year, November, March. And that's done so we can add the youth portion to the front of the program.